guys, and welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I know guys, it's been like almost a year, no, not even more than a year since I posted on YouTube. Wow, I feel like this past year has just been a year of immense learning and growth for me. I feel like I have grown a lot in my skills, and I have learned so much and also taught others so much, which we'll get into, that I think I'm finally equipped with all of the tools that I need to implement into my own self and my own business and my own projects. And I'm really excited for this journey. I think it's a long time coming. And yeah, I finally feel ready and dedicated to actually get this shit done. So welcome back. As you can see, there's a new name. I'm kind of rebranding as well. I'm gonna talk you through a lot of the rebranding as I figure it out, because I'm just doing it as I go, go with the flow. But yeah, for now I'm going with Teshi Akinyi. Akinyi is my maiden name, so that's my tribal name, my African name rather. And yeah, let us get right into the video. I'm really excited for this video. Yeah, this is the first time I've done like lashes in so long, so it was so much fun today to get dolled up. I'm also wearing myself. We'll get more into the details of my outfit, but I'm basically wearing a piece that I knitted over the past, I would say, few months. Over the past, I would say 6 months. It was very on and off. But yeah, this is one of the pieces that I came up with. It's a kimono. I'm going to insert like a short video so that you guys can see how it flows and how gorgeous it is. It boasts some of my favorite colors, and we are currently taking orders for it on Takinyi. There's also been a change of name in my fashion line. So I've moved from Style Tech by Teshi to Takinyi, Takinyi. And yeah guys, let me also just walk you through my whole outfit. The jewelry, the neck piece I'm wearing is also a vintage neck piece that I'm also selling. Actually I've been selling a number of these beaded vintage antique jewelry pieces, but some of these pieces are basically some of my mom's pre-loved jewelry pieces, from all of her travels, all of her, just different kind of styles before she moved into her current style. So yeah, I really love how this goes with my outfit. I think this is, so it's actually not expensive at all. This is 1100. So if you want this neck piece, it's only 1100 kind of shillings. So yeah, just DM me, or I will leave the link in the description box. You can DM me on Instagram and you can copy it for yourself. So yeah, what else have I not talked about? My hair. My hair. As you guys can see, my hair. I did my hair last month for the first time in over a year. Yeah, I feel like a whole year has like passed me by in terms of my own personal creativity. I feel like I was focusing a lot on kind of building other people and also learning in the process. Because as I was building others and contributing to others' careers and businesses, I was also learning a lot, which I now want to implement into my own journey, So this hair, I did it like last month. I'm actually undoing it this weekend because I want to have my afro out for a bit before I braid it again. So yeah, guys, I don't know whether I'm going to start taking orders for doing hair, because as of now, I just do my own hair. But then if you guys want me to do your hair, maybe that's a thing I could be doing. Let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to come to your homes to do your hair. Anyway guys, before I ramble on for too long, I am quite excited. I was really trying to decide what kind of direction I wanted to take my YouTube channel. Now that I'm back on YouTube, excuse my voice, it's a bit croaky today. But yeah, I was trying to like figure out what kind of direction I want to take my YouTube. And you know what, I decided I'm not gonna follow any kind of wave or any kind of predetermined like rules of how I should kind of run my channel. I feel like before I stopped YouTube, I felt that there was a lot of pressure to post very often, and there's also a lot of pressure to produce a certain type of content But now I just want to have fun with it. And I'm also trying to think of a fun way to incorporate some of my knowledge sharing to my YouTube subscribers, because I've basically spent this last year teaching people about fashion, about the business of fashion, about the manufacturing involved in fashion, about digital marketing of fashion. I have just really been teaching a lot about fashion, and I have a lot to share, but I didn't want to come here and just rap to you like I would in like a normal class or a normal lecture. So I've been trying to think of like interesting ways to do it. So one of the segments that I'm going to be introducing to my channel today as my first YouTube video back after so long is called Would You Rather. So we're going to be doing Would You Rather Kenyan fashion designers edition. So this is basically one that is specific to fashion designers in Kenya. So I'm hoping that first of all you'll find this video entertaining, but you'll also kind of learn a thing or two by some of the answers that I give from the Would You Rather questions. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, okay, Would You Rather Kenyan Fashion Designers Edition. So the first Would You Rather question is, would you rather use robin wool or seal wool or butterfly wool? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, those are different brands of wool that are manufactured here in Kenya. So the question is, which one would I prefer using? I have all of them here, so maybe we can talk a bit about all of them. So this is the robin wool. This is the chunky knit robin wool. Is this 3-ply or 4-ply? I'm not so, they don't, I think it's 3-ply. So this is chunky wool robin 3-ply, chunky wool seal 3-ply, and this is chunky wool butterfly 4-ply. I've actually visited their factories. I visited their factories around this time last year, actually, while I was doing some work for my previous job, which we'll talk about that. But I left Ananse. It was an amazing year of growth and of actually working in an industry that I've always wanted to work in, and actually earning from an industry that I've always wanted to contribute to. So it was a really amazing journey, but I'm not at Ananse anymore. And yeah, but basically I visited their factories when I was still working at Ananse, and it was just very eye-opening to kind of see all of the different products that they've been able to come up with, not just the wool. So which one is my favorite out of the three? I would go for, actually, even when you go to, so usually the supplier that I usually buy my wool from in town, he's based on Biashara Street. They usually suggest that you either choose between robin or seal. So a lot of the time, they don't suggest that you choose butterfly. For me, I think my best would be seal. I think seal is the most durable that I have seen. I also feel like it has the most uniformity in the width, because for me sometimes my problem with butterfly is the fact that some sections of the wool will be fatter and other sections of the wool will be thinner. I think that's also a problem I've noticed in robin as well, if I'm not wrong. I think I've also noticed that problem with the robin. But then another problem with butterfly is that on top of some of the sections not being like uniform in the width, they also sometimes have knotted up sections in the wool. So for example, maybe when they were processing the wool, some of the wool broke off, and then they just haphazardly tied a knot and continued to make it into a roll, when it should just be one continuous kind of like string. So I feel like there are usually very many like jumbled up knots inside the roll for butterfly. That's why I think butterfly would be my third option. Although I feel like butterfly has a wider range of colors that I have seen. I feel like they manufacture quite a wide range of different colors. But sometimes the problem is when you try to go back for that one color that you wanted, they might not always have it in stock because they don't always produce like the same quantities of each color variety, if you get what I mean. So yeah, beautiful wool, beautiful colors, but I don't feel like it's that reliable in terms of just uniformity, you know. And then with robin is quite a good wool. I think it's quite good. I just feel like it frays a bit more than seal. I feel like seal doesn't fray as much as robin. And also I think there's one roll of robin that I used where it also had that problem where some sections were thinner than other sections of the wool. So that would be my only other issue with robin. So this would be my number 2. So I guess we are left with seal. So I guess my favorite like wool manufacturer is Seal. So Seal, if you're watching, give your girl a collab, man. All right, next question. Hey guys, so I actually want to change my mind. I am allowed to change my mind between my favorites, between robin and seal, because actually there's something I'm knitting right now, which you can probably see on the edge of the bed. But for that piece that I'm knitting, I've been using seal wool, and I've been feeling like, I don't know, I feel like we also have that problem of some sections being thinner than the others. So I'm gonna put seal as my second choice, because I remember knitting the pink and white dress, that one at the back, with a robin wool a couple of years ago, and I remember feeling like the wool was very kind of strong. So I feel like I kind of mistook the two. So I'm not so sure. Maybe I like both of them, because I think seal is also pretty good, but in terms of durability, I think robin takes the wheel. And if I'm not wrong, usually the shop attendants, at my supplier's place for wool, they usually suggest I either go with robin or seal. So I don't know, guys. So if robin you're hearing, you can also come for a collabo, because I'm a bit confused. I don't know, but I do feel like robin frays quite a bit, but I feel like it's stronger in terms of like the tenacity of the string compared to seal, which I think is a bit lighter and can break easily. But yeah, not as bad as butterfly though, even if butterfly has amazing colors. Anyway, I guess we can move to the second would you rather. So would you rather number 2, would you rather use an electric sewing machine or an industrial sewing machine? So for me, because I am not like how do I say this? I don't sew for a living. I don't sew professionally for a living. A lot of the sewing that I do is mostly for personal use, as well as to create samples of my designs, which I then now go and take to another sample maker, and then before I even take to the manufacturer. So I feel like I don't really have many kind of needs for an industrial machine. However, I do have needs for a portable electric machine. I would want to be able to pick up my machine and use it whenever I can on the go, which you can't really do with an industrial machine because it's a bit bulky. So I'm gonna go with an electric machine, mostly because it's portable, and I also like that it's easier to use in terms of like how you switch between the stitches and all of that. Whereas I think with an industrial machine, you just need to have a bit more coaching before you're able to use it to its full functionality. Though I know for designers, so actually, you know, or if you're a tailor watching this video, I'm sure your option would rather be an industrial machine because of the quality of the work and of, you know, what more it can do. But for me, with my needs, I think I'm good with an electric machine. Would you rather sew or knit? This is very easy for me. I would much rather knit. I love knitting so much. I know it takes so much time. Even people who crochet usually ask me like, girl, how do you just survive with knitting? Like, you actually knit like gowns. And knitting takes really long. But I just love the process. Like, I don't think there's any fashion kind of manufacturing process that I have enjoyed as much as I enjoy the knitting process. So I'm going to go with knitting. Sewing, I feel like sewing for me, I enjoy the aftermath. Like, I don't know if I enjoy the process of sewing. I don't know if I actually enjoy it. I just enjoy what you can do with sewing, but I don't really think I actually enjoy the process of doing it. Would you rather, this is not for different types of fabric, so would you rather cotton fabric or satin fabric? I chose two fabrics that I feel like are quite accessible in the Kenyan market and which are also quite affordable, because you can get like polyester cotton or I feel like cotton is quite accessible in Kenya. So which one would I rather between the two? I think I would go with cotton, but mostly because cotton is much easier to use. I would, if I was to choose in terms of like the end product, I would go with satin, because I feel like satin, really good satin clothes or products are so beautiful. I think it's such a beautiful fabric. I love how smooth it is. I love how wavy it is. I love that fabric. However, when it comes to actually using it when you're sewing, it is a mess because it is very slidey and you need to have your grip right on that machine, and you have to pin the fabric so much for it to come out proper because it's quite sliding. But cotton is much easier to use. So if you're a beginner and you're trying to make like something really easy, then cotton would be a really good option, and that's why I chose that's why I would choose cotton, because this is not for fashion designers, this is not for consumers. Would you rather pattern drafting or pattern cutting? Definitely pattern cutting. Oh my goodness, drafting patterns is hell. Like, this is a topic which I will always train in the past year. During my trainings, when I would get to pattern making, I would just be like, guys, okay, this one, pay attention, because of just how difficult the pattern making process is, and at the same time it's quite forgotten, or I don't feel like the schools in Kenya really put a lot of emphasis on teaching their students how to pattern draft properly, and that is where the problem starts. Yeah, so as I was saying, that's where the problem starts, when you don't have a good pattern maker. Oh my god, that is, if you don't draft your pattern nicely, that is the beginning of the end. And I feel like a lot of schools in Kenya don't really emphasize on the importance of pattern drafting to their students. Then you end up with like poorly drafted patterns. Oh my goodness, that is a story for another day. But yeah, pattern drafting is really important. So if you're a pattern drafter, comment down below, because we need you. We actually need you in the industry. There's quite a shortage of really good pattern drafters. But for me, I would choose pattern cutting, because with pattern cutting, I can easily just buy already drafted patterns online and then cut them out. So all I have to do is print out the pattern and then cut out the pattern, which can be a bit tedious and time consuming, but it's much easier than drafting a pattern from scratch, especially because I'm not that skilled in drafting patterns. Would you rather, this is now types of knit stitches. So there are two main common types of knitting stitches. The first one is the knit stitch, which is similar to what I am wearing. Let me show you. So this is the knit stitch. It has like fat bumps, whereas the purl stitch is the one that you commonly find on sweaters or machine knitwear products. I think it looks quite good for sweaters. I really like how the purl stitch looks, especially for sweaters. However, I just prefer the process of the knit stitch. I think it's just because of maybe the way the process of doing it. My hands are more accustomed to that kind of technique, the knit stitch, as opposed to the purl stitch, which is kind of the opposite way. So it kind of feels like I'm going backwards and not the normal movement of my hands. It feels like I'm going against the normal movement of my hands, and that is why I would choose the knit stitch, which I really love. I really love. Would you rather knitting or crochet? I think this is quite obvious. I would much rather knitting. Even if I know I talk to a lot of people who are just like, I don't understand how you knit for so long, because knitting takes much longer. I actually really want to get into crochet as well. I think I've never really crocheted anything like a whole garment. I've only like done a few crochet stitches here and there just to kind of like familiarize myself with how to crochet. But it's something I really want to get into, mostly because I think it's more commercial. I think crochet is much more commercial, especially if you're hand crocheting than hand knitting, mostly because it's less time consuming, and it's, I guess, when you make a mistake with crochet, I think it's easier to salvage than when you make a mistake with knitting, because you don't want a garment that has holes all over if you miss a stitch. So yeah, I would choose knitting, but I definitely want to get into crochet. I'm actually currently planning a series of classes where I can get you guys together and we can learn various knitting and crocheting techniques from professional knitters and crocheters, professional coaches. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna stick to knitting. Would you rather a fashion show or a fashion exhibition? This one I'm definitely biased. I'm old school like that because I love fashion shows. I actually organized my first fashion exhibition a couple of months ago with Nancy at Nairobi Design Week, and it went really well. I've still not uploaded those photos on my Instagram. I don't know why, but I'm going to do that soon. But it went really well. But I just feel like the preparation or just the tediousness that goes behind fashion exhibitions is just more hectic than a fashion show, whereas I feel like a fashion show is much more fun. It's short, but then you can really make an impact, whereas I feel like with an exhibition you need someone there to kind of guide the guests who are coming to view that exhibition, whereas a fashion show is kind of like, it speaks for itself, and I know you can also use live models for fashion exhibition, which is something I would actually really want to try out. But then with a fashion show, I don't know, there's so much movement where I feel like with an exhibition, it's a bit more static. So I would definitely go with a fashion show. And yes, this is me manifesting being in a different country during the next fashion season for a fashion week, attending fashion shows, front row seated. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I feel like I am in need of a good fashion week with really good fashion shows. So yeah, fashion show. Would you rather invisible hemming or folded overlocked hemming? So I got something here to show you guys the difference. So the folded overlocked hemming is what you mostly see in garments, and this is how you finish seams. So what would usually happen is that you'd overlock the seams, the frizz seams, you'd overlock them. This is the overlock stitch. And then now you fold it, and then now you hem it, to keep the seams intact and neat. It's much more common, much more, I guess, easier to do, much less time consuming. And then an invisible hem looks like this. Let me show you. So an invisible hem, you don't overlock it at all. You just fold the ends of the seams, and then now you sew on top of that. So this is really good for lightweight fabrics or really thin fabrics like this one, where you don't want the overlocked stitch to really be bulky and add to the bulkiness of the seam. So this is just really good for finishing. I would go with the invisible hemming style, even if it's quite, I guess it's more difficult to do because it's more time consuming trying to fold and get it all like in line. But I think it looks really good. So I would go with the invisible hem. All right. Is it the last one? Oh my God, it's the last one. This one is all about places to shop for fabric in Nairobi. So would you rather buy fabric on River Road or at Nairobi Textiles? These are both places in CBD that people would go to buy fabric. I would go with Nairobi Textiles mostly because I feel like Nairobi Textiles has a wider variety of fabrics to choose from, especially a wider variety of commercial fabrics to choose from. So I would say they would have a much wider variety of different polyesters, different satins, different African print fabrics, different cottons, different linens. However, there's some shops in River Road. If you really know River Road well, if you've walked the streets of River Road and you've really gone through the Panya routes, there's some specific shops that you can get some fabrics that are not that easy to get anywhere else, including Nairobi Textiles. And one example of such fabric is fleece fabric. There's like a shop in River Road where you can get really good fleece fabric, and fleece fabric is not the easiest to find. And you can also get fabrics like some jeans fabric. Yeah, you can also get some really good linen fabrics on River Road if you really know where to go. But in general, I feel like the industry, textile industry just needs a lot more help. I attended this amazing event the other day where we met some Chinese company that are trying to bring some of their fabrics to Kenya, and we really need it, because right now we are struggling with outdated, low quality, expensive fabric in the city, where all of the designers are scrambling to use the same exact fabrics to create unique designs, whereas these Chinese are trying to bring in really good quality, super affordable, wide variety of fabrics. And it's just a section of the industry that I actually want to contribute to kind of improving. So yeah, guys, there is a lot that we still need to do in our textile manufacturing industry, and I want to be a part of that process. But I would choose Nairobi Textiles because of just their wider variety and the commercial fabrics that you can find there. And yeah, I guess that is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below with any interesting comments of any of the would you rathers that you think I was a bit off on, or if you agree with me. Also, feel free to leave your suggestions of other videos that you want to see from me. I really want to create fun, engaging, and educative content on this channel, so feel free to suggest what you want to see from me. And I guess I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.